Taoiseach, during a committee meeting this week on the EU Migration Pact, Michael McNamara asked Justice Minister Helen McEntee why it was that last year Ireland issued 188 transfer decisions to send asylum seekers back to another EU state, and yet only 3 of that 188 were actually transferred, despite the other EU states accepting responsibility for taking that person back in all cases.
Minister, you said earlier that the new take-back mechanism would be better, that it wasn't open to other countries to frustrate it. In 2023, your department issued 188 transfer decisions. That means 188 cases where another country said, yes, we're responsible for processing this person, and yes, we'll take them back. Of the 188, you transferred 3. Can you explain that?
I suppose this just shows the inefficiency of the Dublin 3 system.
No, but it shows the inefficiency of your department. Another country said they'd take them back and accepted they would take them back and had responsibility. Your department is transferred 3. Where's the problem?
No, we can only issue a take-back request. So it is then for those
but a decision, the other country accepted responsibility, accepted they would take them back, a decision was made to transfer them, and you transferred 3 of those 188. Where's the problem?
Again, it's my understanding that it was not within, and again, without having seen the details of them, but if it's not within the time frame, even if there's a...
but why did you run out of time? You have 6 months.
If the other country frustrates
No, they didn't frustrate it. They accepted they were taking them back. So what's the problem in your department in implementing this Dublin 3 regulation?
So if you can show me that they were accepted within the 6-month time frame.
Oh, they were?
If you can show that to me. So again,
you can't issue a transfer decision without another country accepting responsibility, so that was done.
And yet when McNamara asked the Minister why this was the case, she didn't really have an answer. So as Taoiseach and former Justice Minister yourself, do you have an answer to that question?
So I haven't seen the committee truthfully, but I will look back at that exchange. I think it may have been the day of the Stardust apology, but certainly I haven't had an opportunity to see that yet. I will look back in relation to that. But what I can say, Ben, and I definitely know this to be the case, and I know this to be the case from engagements at European level too, I don't accept that current processes in terms of Dublin Declaration and the likes work in the way they were intended to. I think Deputy McNamara, if what you say is true, which I'm not doubting, raises a significant and important issue. We will want to obviously provide clarification in relation to that. I think that's important that we do that when members of the Oireachtas raise questions, and I'm sure the Department of Justice and the Minister for Justice will write to the committee in relation to that. I think that would be helpful. But I can absolutely say this: there's going to be a lot of debate about the EU Migration Pact. There should be. I think it's right and proper that the government decided this week not to rush this into the Dáil next week. The Justice Committee asked for more time. The Justice Committee asked to have the space to bring in witnesses, to hear from people. That's a good thing. We then go into the Dáil, the Seanad. I think it should be given plenty of time in there. The government wants to opt into the EU Migration Pact. You and I may have a different view on this, but we do. I very much do. I don't believe this country can go it alone. But I do also think that it's important that we provide plenty of time for proper scrutiny and teasing through of the issues. And that's certainly what I'm going to facilitate as Taoiseach.
Specifically, one of the points that Deputy McNamara raised was he said that because the Department of Justice was failing to transfer people, even when other states agreed. So this isn't that the other state is stymieing or stalling the process. They're saying, yes, we take responsibility for this person, we'll take them back. And yet only 3 out of 188 were actually sent back last year. He says that this shows that the time periods being set by the EU Migration Pact that are much shorter, the faster processing times that you're talking about, will not actually be achievable if we can't even implement the rules and regulations that we have now. That was his argument.
Sure. Well, what I can definitely agree with is the latter part. I mean, what I can absolutely definitely agree with, whether the Irish Department of Justice or any Interior or Department of Justice across the European Union, it is going to require a massive step change in terms of resourcing, in terms of capacity to deliver those processing times. Now, that is why this comes in from 2026. We're talking about this in 2024. It's one of the reasons Ireland made a decision to indicate our wish to opt in early so that we can provide the time for both the legislation and the system. So I do agree on this much. I do agree that there is going to need to be, not just in Ireland, but right across the European Union, very, very significant increase in resourcing and capacity in processing. Because I think the people of this country, I think they're very fair. I think the people of this country are very humane. I think the people of this country see the benefit of immigration. People of this country also like a bit of common sense. People of this country also want to know that there are rules, that the rules are applied, that they're applied fairly and firmly, and that they're applied quickly. And that's where we need to get to.
Thank you.